Welcome everybody to another episode of the Weed News. I'm your host, Hillary Clinton. I just feel like she's constantly trying to show facial expressions that she thinks humans have, but she's just this weird bone robot that somebody draped skin on top of. Also looks like she's just seeing the girl crawl out of the TV from The Ring every second of every day. But hey, she's for the people, right? That's why she's wearing a $9,000 pantsuit. Either way, let's get started. Our first story, kind of a personal one, but last week's episode has been stuck at 301 plus views for now a week straight. Typically, that's a sign of things going viral, but apparently in this instance, that's just not the case. And we here at the Weed News are not a reasonable bunch, so we already spent the money that 1 billion views would earn you on YouTube. Producer John is wearing a diamond-encrusted platinum cock ring right now with a chain going down to a matching toe ring. Producer Joe, he's getting jeans tattooed to his legs because apparently jeggings were not quite tight enough. And me, I bought a gram of weed dipped in plutonium. After realizing that YouTube basically gave us digital blue balls, I actually started to research and see what type of pot comedy shows that you guys are actually watching. And frankly, I'm fucking embarrassed. I didn't realize that all we needed to do was embrace every idiot stereotype that's ever existed in pot, and you guys would come out of the weeds to watch it. Pun humor. Boom! All I need is a Cat in the hat with some weed leaves all over it, and we're going straight to the top. Next week, I'll be wearing a tie-dyed shirt, cut-off corduroy shorts, and Birkenstocks, baby, because I'm selling the fuck out and we're going straight to the top. What pot bigwig do I need to suck off from behind to get a goddamn ticket to Cannabis Cup? Can you believe it? A show like us with over 100 views is not getting a free, all-expenses-paid trip to 420 Denver like my motherfucking vision board has in my room? From behind, I don't give a shit if you just ran a marathon, took a shit, and then ran another one. I'll do it, and I'll do it with some ambition. All I want is for this show to get me some goddamn free pot and maybe a vaporizer every once in a while, but although I don't, your reviews aren't as solid and they don't earn you free merchandise, so maybe you should go more in depth about the dry flower ratio and the wax and how heated and the science behind it. It's one guy. Sorry. I guess this whole 301 plus views thing really got to my goddamn head. I thought I had grown some thick skin from being in this industry. Turns out a little glimmer of hope just opens up that armor and, ooh, just big enough for a knife. In our next segment, what not to do while weeded. What not to do. Do not do this unless you are an adventure thrill seeker like myself and you really want to put yourself into tough spots to see if you can kind of live through it. Well, I took a high tolerance edible and rode the New York City subway recently. It put me immediately on red alert. Here's why, because any thought of paranoia that you can typically just kind of brush off and be like, well, that's unreasonable, there's no way that would happen, is a real fucking viable option on the New York City subway. Are you kidding? What is that? Is that guy covered in rats right now? No, it could. Oh, wait, not only is he covered in rats, but I think he's feeding them chunks of his earwax just to keep them loyal. Also, every single time that I get high and then ride the subway, I come out of it shivering at the end like I'm a fucking abuse victim, just like, yeah, I'll never put myself in that scenario again. Why would I ever slow my facilities down before potentially having to fend for my life? What is that guy bleeding from his face and fucking pump faking Ebola at me? Well, what line does he have to cross before I have to potentially defend myself? Also, this is troubling because I just realized this is how I plan to defend myself. And aside from the living, breathing human nightmares that you'll find on the train, the New York City transit system, wee bit complicated, which I know is kind of an understatement. That's like getting diagnosed with AIDS and being like, you should kind of take this seriously. But I got way too into what stop I would have to transfer at, how I would then get to my next train, and also how I would move my body amongst the leagues of people that are covering the surface area of the train. Okay, so we're at 42nd Street right now. I have to get off at 59th Street, but not yet because I have to, once we're at 50th Street, you can then, move your body up, touch that pole, but not yet. We're still at 42nd Street, not sure when we're gonna leave this station. Oh no, that guy's scary, but hey, get up. So move your body, carry your bag to the side, make sure it's right near you so you aren't infringing upon anybody else's personal space. Touch that pole, hold on to that pole till you get to 59th Street, then get out, but not yet. We're still on 42nd Street. It was a very weird experience where I felt like I was taking a virtual tour of New York with the very real possibility of getting murdered. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching another episode of the Weed News. Next week, fuck, suck, duck, and chickens be clucking.